Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 207 for Tuesday, the 21st of May, 2024. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby360G, and joining me today is...
Graham, or otherwise known as G Howbox 14.
And since I switched, sorry, I just blanked out there for a second, so I do apologize.
Are you playing games by any chance?
Yeah, I am, and it's like I thought I was listening to something then, not taking part.
Oh dear.
So we've hit record. So for those of you that aren't in the Twitch, what? You're saying what the hell? Yes, so this week we are live streaming on Twitch. Now I'm going to probably start doing this every week if we start at the same time every Sunday. The last few weeks or so, about the last month or so, we've been regularly starting at 7:30 on a Sunday, which I'm actually quite liking. Now, one of the reasons why we stopped doing the Twitch streams is because we would kind of like chopping and changing days and times of recording, and like when you're doing a Twitch stream, you kind of want to be same time, same date every single week. You just want to have that schedule, a bit like, you know, the telly or whatever. So if we can stick to that, I think it might be fun going forward. Don't expect there to be lots of fancy stuff on the screen as you're watching though, because I'm not that high tech, but on the games and stuff that we're talking about, I'll try and put some stuff on the screen for you, just in case you're like Darren and you space out and you can't remember what game we're talking about. It'll be there on the screen.
Yeah.
So that's all good. Okay. So we don't have Nick this week, unfortunately. Hopefully he'll be back soon. Now he is threatening to join me for a midweek recording to talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, just to do a special. So hopefully we'll get that recorded soon, and I'll chuck that up on the podcast feed. Unfortunately, Darren still hasn't played it yet because he's too busy playing other games that are obviously far more important. So Clark is just in the chat. He expects me in a inflatable pool in a bikini. Well, that is actually, when you go on the just chatting on Twitch, it's pretty much all you see, isn't it? So, but I think I look quite sexy in a mankini. So wait for it next week, eh?
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah. Cool. So I don't know how you want to do it this week, guys, because we have been doing a little bit of a mishmash of, news and what we've been playing and stuff, and just mingling it up a bit. I don't know if you want to just get straight chatting into some of the news stuff. I've quite enjoyed doing that the last few weeks. Just
Can do.
Yeah, can do.
Just chopping and changing the flow of the show, if that makes sense. Now, obviously, because I really want to get to the nitty gritty of some of the news this week, as you can tell, right? So,
yeah.
Big news this week. New trailer dropped for Assassin's Creed Shadows, coming out late this year. Set in Japan, which I think people have been wanting an Assassin's Creed set in Japan for quite a long time now, right?
Pretty much since I think the second game, maybe.
Yeah. I'm not actually sure what the release date is off the top of my head. I'm not actually just watching the trailer
15th
now.
of November, I think.
Well, there we go. It's November, so still quite a while off yet. Now, Assassin's Creed as a franchise is weird for me because I didn't play the last one. I didn't get excited for that one at all. And I don't know what it is. Like, the Assassin's Creed games, I used to love. Like, I've got loads of collector's editions, and I've actually loved it. But in my opinion, I feel like Black Flag was really the last really good one. I mean, I've enjoyed the last couple of ones, like Valhalla, but I just feel like they really have gone downhill a little bit since Black Flag, and I think a lot of people are in that same opinion. Darren might not be, because I know you've played a lot of Valhalla, haven't you?
Yeah, I've played. I've enjoyed all of the ones, the sort of moderner ones. I'd say after. What was the one in France? I didn't buy that one. Unity, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Wasn't Syndicate the one set in England?
Yeah.
Sure was.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one, obviously. Now, there's no way to mince around this, right? It's caused quite a lot of controversy on the social medias, as you can imagine. Now, if you haven't seen the trailer, I'll have to explain to you why. So, like the last few Assassin's Creed games, there's been two main characters, a man and a woman, and that's not been a problem to anybody. You know, you get to choose. That's cool, right? This one's got two main characters as well, a lady and a man. However, the big controversy that's been happening online is, you know, it's set in the samurai period of time, etc. But the male main character is not Japanese, which is odd. It's actually a black guy, and a lot of people have said, you know, how does this go into the history, because the samurai period is like, I mean, I don't know my history as well as other people, like the 1500s or whatever. I don't know. I'm probably way off base here. And to a lot of people that doesn't make sense. So, and I've seen a lot of stuff online where people have been saying, you know, every single other Assassin's Creed has had people, the main characters have been native to the area where the game is.
The setting. The setting. Of the game.
So people are saying, well, why now they're doing this one set in Japan? Are they deviating from that?
It's DEI. That's why.
Yeah, so
it's literally why. It's just so obvious. That's the reason why that it's being done, for this DEI bullshit that's infecting everything nowadays.
So I don't really understand what this DEI... I need to look it up what DEI stands for, but I've seen this referenced.
Equity and inclusion, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, diversity inclusion. Yeah. Basically sticking shit where it doesn't belong.
Wokeness.
Yeah. Or whatever you regard as woke, I suppose. I still don't entirely know. Just know most things people call woke, I think, is shit. So it's just kind of weird.
Okay, so I've just looked it up. So diversity, equity and inclusion is a term used to describe policies and programs that promote the representation and participation of different groups of individuals. DEI encompasses people of different ages, races, ethnicities, abilities, disabilities, genders, religions, cultures and sexual orientations. Okay, so
anything that's not white. That's all it covers. If you read it, it covers anything except white people, white people.
So what I find quite interesting about this is that obviously Japanese people are not white people. So, you know...
They're classed as white adjacent.
Mate, and these terms are like...
Yeah, it's bizarre, yeah.
Mm.
So
anyway,
very, very bizarre.
So obviously the Japanese are not too impressed with this, as you can understand. So I mean I can see why people are upset about this, and it can confuse me a little bit. But you know, I tend not to go on social media too much. But fuck me, when this trailer hit, I looked at the comments on the YouTube channel, and Twitter. Obviously the best place to go to see people just melt down.
Yeah.
And it's like it's really strange because there doesn't seem to be any kind of what's the word, like there's that's the word, there's no balance on it, because you've got one side screeching, you know, oh, you can't say anything negative about this because you're just racist. Yeah, and then you got the other side saying, "Oh, it's fucking ridiculous, blah blah blah." There's no one. I've not really seen anyone in the middle just saying, "Look, you know, this is a bit silly because of X, Y, Z. You know, the previous games. Why have you done this now?" And not seen any kind of cohesion as to what's going on. Apart from, I did find a little bit that apparently this character is actually in Japanese mythology or something.
No,
Right,
Yasuke is a real person. He is a
right,
real person that did exist. And that's kind of where kind of I'm sort of like, I don't mind per se. Like, I'm not like, oh, it's the be all and end all. But the
yeah,
fact that for the very first time outside of DLC, you're playing a real historical character
yeah,
Yeah.
in an Assassin's Creed game. And why are you playing a real historical character? Because unless you were, they wouldn't be able to justify why you're playing a black character in feudal Japan.
yeah,
It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
yeah. I just find it. I just find it really bizarre. Not. I mean, I'm not surprised that it's happened. What is
Well,
quite
we heard
shocked.
the rumours about a year
Yeah,
ago, didn't we?
yeah. But it's the articles that have popped up on supposed gaming websites that have really struck a chord with me because, like the likes of IGN as a prime example, they put out a. Oh God, I need to find it. They put out an article saying, and the title was "Let's not pretend you're upset about Assassin's Creed Shadow," um, you know, because it's a black person or something like that. And I was just like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, here we go. Let's not pretend we're mad at the new Assassin's Creed Shadows. The new Assassin's Creed Shadow Samurai isn't Asian. Um, yeah, and it goes on.
Well,
And it's
what if you
quite
live
long.
on Xbox? Like, let's not live on Xbox, but yeah, what if you've got an Xbox? Because obviously you hear a lot of people going, "Oh, you've already had an Asian assassin and stuff in Ghost of Tsushima and Rise of Ronin and all that kind of stuff," but yet those games aren't on the Xbox.
Yeah, I know, mate. It's. I mean, it's not really something that I don't really care because I already knew that I wouldn't be buying the game anyway. Like I didn't buy the last one. Like, and we've talked about Ubisoft quite a lot in recent weeks with some of the decisions they're making, how the company's gone so downhill. And it's just another thing for me because it's not just this thing about the game. It's you need to have an internet connection when you first put the game disc in a way for it to work. They've got three different editions for it, and they're really expensive. Now, obviously, those other editions are, you don't have to buy them. You just buy the 60 quid one or whatever. That's fine. But then I was reading some other comments from Japanese people that had nothing to do with the character, and they were saying that a lot of the buildings, etc., are not based on Japan. They're actually Chinese style, and they're really upset about that because it's like Ubisoft haven't taken the time and effort to really research the style of buildings, etc., that are Japanese, because it's quite, honour's a big thing to them, and they found it very disrespectful, you know. So that's something else that I think it's not a good look for Ubisoft. And the other thing that Darren mentioned about the DEI stuff, apparently Ubisoft, there's a couple of things about Ubisoft. They have a DEI officer, that's what they're called, who oversees all the games now. And we've mentioned that Sweet Baby company before.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually started and is run by ex Ubisoft employees.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I just find that quite interesting. And it just makes me sad, really. Like I've said last week, and I hate to repeat myself, it just makes me sad how far down Ubisoft has gone compared to their heyday. Because they used to be great. They used to just make good games and they had that passion. And now it just seems like they just turned it around and they've just turned into a bag of shit. I really don't know how they're even making money anymore.
Don't think they are they?
I don't know, mate. I don't know, but yeah, I just found it. As I say, I just found it quite interesting. And as I say, like these gaming websites, like IGN, as an example, go back 15 years. You know, they were kind of like the holy grail of game reviews, and they did some
They
really good
still are
articles and
kind
stuff.
of like, I would say they are still the best of the legacy media
Mm,
for gaming stuff. Like, every company's going to have its people with random weird views on stuff that doesn't necessarily always mesh with like gamers.
yeah.
But like, I will say they have probably got the better track record out of all of them.
The problem is, I find, is they've divulged away from just pure gaming stuff, because they do a lot of movie and TV show stuff. But a lot of their stuff that I've seen the last 5-10 years has been a lot of political stuff. And as a
Yeah.
gamer, I don't
Yeah.
want to see that. I want to just see games. I go onto a gaming website to see game stuff, and I don't want to see articles from a gaming website pushing like gender identity and politics and stuff. It's just so far out of the wheelhouse, you know?
Yeah,
So-
definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. So is there anything else you guys wanted to mention on the trailer? I mean, the graphics look good.
Well, it's CG trailer, isn't it? It's not the actual visuals for the game. But I think that they should have had Yasuke as an NPC in the game, because like with the Assassin's Creed games, they're always loosely based on history, and you interact with real historical people of that period.
Yeah.
So you could have ended up working for him and stuff,
Mm.
rather than obviously having to play him as a main character. And like you said earlier, you can't even choose your character in this one. You're forced to actually play each character at certain points in the game.
Oh, is that how it is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
really?
they know, this is the thing that's interesting, is the last two games where they've actually given you that aspect, like, oh, you can choose which character to use,
Yeah.
more people have used the male character than the female equivalent.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is also a bit strange when they come out and say, oh, Cassandra is the canonical character in Origins. Like, she was supposed to be the main character. And in Valhalla, if you watch the trailers, it's the male Ivor in the trailers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the female Ivor, which is the canonical character.
Mm.
And I've got a funny feeling that if they allowed people to choose one of the two characters, more people would probably choose the female this time round, because it suits the setting.
Yeah.
And albeit they are going for like slightly different takes, aren't they? Because obviously one of them's like a samurai and the other one's like a ninja or kanuchi, or however you pronounce that.
Yeah.
Like the female ninja.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But it just seems bizarre. If anything, if I was like running Ubisoft or like a shareholder, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, we saw the day. Yeah.
Well, not necessarily just that. Like, the game will sell well. It will sell very well.
Assassin's Creed,
they always usually do. But it will still sell far less than it would have done had it have stuck to what people wanted.
Yeah.
So whichever way you look at it, they're losing money.
Well, their share price dropped massively, didn't it, the day after the trailer hit?
Crazy.
Yeah. Okay, shall we move on? To listen to the rest of this week's awesome episode, you need to subscribe to the Patreon. So head on over to patreon.com/360gamercast. There you can subscribe from as little as £5 a month to get an episode every single week of the year. The other way that you can now listen to the show is live on Twitch, and that website address is twitch.tv/webby360g. Bear in mind, you can only listen to the Patreon episodes live. There will be no recordings or anything, so we're giving you a couple of options to listen to the show. But the best way is to subscribe to the Patreon. So again, the website address is patreon.com/360gamercast.